Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It is me, Allie. Today, yay, I am so excited for today's video because it is my fall bake with me video. I'm just very much into this content right now. In today's video, you will find all sorts of different recipes to really get you in that cozy autumn mood, which is just the best season of all in my personal opinion. My apologies if I'm so out of breath right now. I can't even talk for like 2 or 3 minutes without getting winded. Pregnancy problems. Third trimester pregnancy problems. Any of the recipes that I got from blogs, I will link in the description below, and I will also link 2 different playlists in the description below. I will link my DIY playlist where I have all of my bake with me videos, cook with me videos, creative videos, and my fall playlist where I have all of my cozy-esque type of videos. I really hope that you guys are as excited about watching this video as I have been filming it. If you have any other questions or concerns, just ask them in the comments below. And now without further ado, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video before we jump on into all the treats. Today I am making these delicious black bean and poblano flautulas. I believe that is how you pronounce it. Today's video is in partnership with HelloFresh, and I'm always just so grateful to be able to say that. If you guys know me but at all, and you guys have been following for X amount of time, you would know that my husband and I actually subscribe to HelloFresh on our own. We love the service, so anytime I get to work with them, it is just all of the happiness. If you guys are unfamiliar with HelloFresh, I'm going to link a lot of the information in the description below, but I'll also give you a little overview right here, right now. With HelloFresh, you get produce that gets to you faster than a grocery store, so it arrives at peak freshness and flavor. HelloFresh always cuts out all of the stressful meal planning and prepping, so you can just enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes or even 20 minutes with their quick and easy options. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients means that there's a lot less prep for you and a lot less wasted food. And I don't know about you guys, but it's definitely a hectic time in any household. So just having HelloFresh meals, it's just a solution for any busy moment. I've talked about why I love HelloFresh so many times on my channel before, but I wanted to bring in a personal experience, especially considering I am making these Mexican roll-ups. There's this Mexican restaurant that my husband and I love going to, and although I completely agree that you should treat yourself from time to time, we will go to this restaurant and I will get pretty much this exact same meal that I am making today, and it is upwards of $18 to $20 just for the meal. It always blows my mind knowing that I could just have made this recipe at home using HelloFresh's amazing delivery service for a fraction. And when I say a fraction, I mean a fraction of the price. And the food is just as good as restaurant quality food, if not better, because you know exactly what is going into it. So if you want to try out HelloFresh for yourself, go to hellofresh.com and use code alliecakes14 to get 14 free meals, including free shipping. And thank you so much again to HelloFresh for partnering with me on today's content. I mean, come on, look at how delicious these look. I also wanted to mention that HelloFresh has so many different recipes to choose from each week, and fall is definitely one of our favorite times to get HelloFresh because their offerings are just fantastic. So many cozy meals that will just make you want to snuggle up on the couch, eat your delicious dinner, and watch Hocus Pocus. It's a whole mood. Starting this video off with a bang, we are starting off with the Dunkin' Donuts Pumpkin Donut Dupe. I love this recipe. Usually I will save my favorite for last, but in this video I wanted to share my favorite first because fall, pumpkins, donuts, Allison, they're pretty much all categorized together. I found this recipe on a food blog, and again, I will link that food blog in the description below. I am just following the recipe. It is actually quite simple. You're going to need your pumpkin puree, you're going to need your flour of choice, your milk, you know, all of your baking essentials. I'm not going to sit here and bore you to death and list out all the ingredients. I will link again the recipe right in the description below. This recipe was so much fun to make, and let me tell you, when they say it is a Dunkin' Donuts dupe, they mean it is a Dunkin' Donuts dupe. This tasted almost identical to the pumpkin donuts that you can get at Dunkin' Donuts. And I don't know about you guys and your Dunkin' Donuts, but if you don't get to Dunkin' Donuts by like 11 o'clock in the morning, you're just not getting a pumpkin donut, or at least that's my experience. Our Dunkins, they usually sell out by like 11 o'clock for the seasonal donuts. You can just make your own pumpkin donuts at home. They're relatively simple to make, really fun, makes your house smell amazing, and you can make them for a fraction of the cost. I think a donut at Dunkin' Donuts is $1.25, which isn't terrible. However, you can probably make 3 or 4 at home for $1.25. It's pretty simple math. Also, if baking is anything to you like it is to me, baking is just so therapeutic to me. That's why I love making these videos. Baking is therapy for me. So not only am I getting these delicious donuts, I'm also getting like a sense of self-care while making them. P.S. Just a little side note, when making the glaze, you can determine how thick you want it to be. I was going for more of a thinner glaze, so I added a little bit more liquid, but if you want a thicker glaze, just add a little bit more powdered sugar and less liquid. And here is the final product. Like, come on, guys. Tell me these don't look amazing. Not only do they look amazing, but they also taste amazing. So you're pretty much getting the best of both worlds. And I can't remember if I already said this in the voiceover, but if you make these, your house is going to smell chef's kiss. It is just going to smell so dreamy. And just a quick little span to wrap up this first recipe of what this donut looks like on the inside, just as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. Can I get an oh yeah for that one? Next up, we have another quintessential recipe that just defines fall. If you're not having pumpkin in fall, what are you having? Most likely apple spice. The next recipe is an apple spice muffin, and what is really special about this recipe is that it is extremely healthful for you. I got the recipe off of cookieandkate.com. I believe it is Cookie and Kate. Check the description for the specific website that I go through for all of my healthy muffin recipes. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know that I am an avid muffin maker with Landon. We make so many muffins and so many loaves. We probably make one at least once a week. It is just a very special pastime for my son and I, and we 9 out of 10 times always go to the Cookie and Kate website. It is just phenomenal. We have not had a recipe that we have not liked yet from that website. Something that I really admire about the Cookie and Kate website that is very near and dear to my heart, especially when making muffins for my son, who is just about 2.5 years old, everything on their website is helpful. I don't want to say healthy because I am not a nutritionist and I don't want to go down that road. However, I will say that these muffins and pretty much everything on the website is a lot more helpful than most items that you could get at chain restaurants or markets or even cafes. It's pretty much made with all natural ingredients, For example, instead of using added sugar, you are sweetening pretty much all of the recipes on their website with maple syrup or honey. Instead of using butter, you can use coconut oil or olive oil, and so on and so forth. If you have not checked out their website, highly recommend checking them out. This is how the final product came out, and I'm just internally drooling looking at it. You wouldn't expect something that is so helpful to have so much flavor, but these muffins seriously pack a punch in the flavor department. Also, side note, all of their muffins double as really amazing cupcakes. If you just add a little bit of homemade buttercream frosting and then top it with something seasonal, you have the most delicious, moist muffin cupcake in the entire world. This was everything. This muffin slash cupcake, like, it screams fall, it tastes like fall, it is fall. I feel like chai tea does not get enough recognition in the fall. Everybody automatically resorts to pumpkin and apple spice, but chai is such a fall flavor. So we are making some chai tea churro bites. For this recipe, I don't really have a specific recipe to link. You can look online for any churro recipe. I looked up a bunch and they're pretty much all identical in the measurements and the ingredients that they use. For this recipe, I just substituted out the water for chai tea. So I made some chai tea, and instead of doing a cup of water, I did a cup of chai tea, and then I followed all of the rest of the ingredients, which is actually pretty simple. It's like water, sugar, oil, flour, and a little bit of salt, and then you just mix it all together on a pan until it all comes together. From there, you just want to pipe out your churros, and here comes the long part. You have to freeze these. It says overnight, but you want to freeze them until they're completely solid. Once they are completely solid, you can just pop them into a fryer later, or a makeshift fryer later. In my case, I'm just using some oil on top of the stove top, and you want to fry them until they are golden brown and completely cooked through. Place them on paper towel when you take them out of the fryolator, and then after about 2 minutes, you just want to mix them in with some cinnamon sugar. Guys, churros always hold a special place in my heart because it just reminds me of Disney, but chai tea churros, that's like next level. I love churros. I love churros for all seasons, but again, I feel like it just speaks to the fall. Apple cider milkshake is another recipe I don't have a clickable link for because I kind of just created it on the go. I also don't have any measurements because I pretty much just eyeball everything. But to make this apple cider milkshake, I just added some ice, some vanilla bean ice cream, some apple cider, and a little splash of caramel to a blender. I blended it up and then I made the cup all fancy by drizzling some caramel inside. Next, I poured the milkshake over top, and this is where it gets really fun. I went to a local farm that day, and I picked up some apple cider donut. So to take this milkshake to the next level, you want to add an apple cider donut on top, and then complete the entire milkshake with a little squeeze. Squeeze? You don't squeeze whipped cream, but you spray whipped cream? Whatever, I added whipped cream on top. Oh, whoa. I've had a lot of milkshakes in my day. I have to say that this one, top 5 best milkshakes I've ever had, and it also is just everything about fall that you would want. Like this milkshake, is fall in a cup. Okay, let's talk about these maple pecan cinnamon rolls. Pecan, however you pronounce it. These maple pecan cinnamon rolls are a serious time investment. I'm talking like 5 to 6 hours to prep, and I am not even being dramatic. It took me 5 to 6 hours to prep these. All worth it at the end because these cinnamon rolls were epic, like a million out of 10. But definitely prepare to prep these for hours on end. I actually started making these the night before at 9:00 p.m. Didn't go to sleep till like 12, and then the next morning I had to wait another 2 hours until I could put them into the oven. But again, all worth it. I am pretty sure any cinnamon roll is a very intricate recipe to follow. I will say that all of the steps were relatively easy. These were not difficult to make. It was just, again, very, very time consuming. I knew I would not have time or patience or energy in the morning with a almost 2.5-year-old to make these. So if you're in the same situation as I am, just prep these the night before. All you have to do in the morning is take them out of the refrigerator and allow them to get to room temperature. Takes just about 2 hours, and then just throw them in the oven and enjoy. Also, it was kind of really nice to do it the night before because I cleaned everything up, and the next morning I got to just enjoy cinnamon rolls without having a bunch of dishes to clean. I'm rambling, I apologize, but I'm going to link this recipe in the description below. Overall, you're just making a normal cinnamon roll. The big kicker for these is the little maple pecan syrup mixture that you put at the bottom of your baking dish. Take that to the bank. Just take a big spoonful and eat it as you are making these. You deserve it after working so hard. That little maple pecan syrup mixture, oh, I just want to make another batch of it and keep it in the fridge and use it for future baking because it was so good. You can follow all the steps on how to make these cinnamon rolls using the recipe that I have linked in the description. The funny part about this is it took about 5 to 6 hours to prep, but you're really only in the kitchen working for about a half hour. The rest of the time is just used for the dough to rise and proof. But here is the final product after I baked them in the oven for about 20-ish minutes. I'm just topping with a little bit of maple syrup glaze. And with all of that being said, these were just so worth the time. These were so good. They were amazing. We had these on Sunday, and it was just like the perfect Sunday breakfast. When you wake up on a Sunday, you just think of comfort food and family time, and these hit the mark in pretty much every single category. Just wanted to give you a little quick pan of what the inside looks like because per freaking fection. And to end this video, I of course had to finish up with another pumpkin recipe because pumpkin and fall. Need I say more? I already did a Dunkin' Donuts dupe recipe, so I'm ending with a Starbucks dupe recipe. This is the dupe for the Starbucks pumpkin scones, which if you've ever had them before, they're delicious, but if you've ever been to Starbucks before, everything is so overpriced. You can make an entire batch of these for pretty much the same price you would pay for one pumpkin scone at Starbucks. Don't get me wrong, they're delicious, but it's just so overpriced there. Will I still go to Starbucks at least once a week? Yes, and I have only but myself to blame for that. So, fun fact about me, this was my very first time ever making scones, and I was shocked at just how easy it was to make. I made biscuits many a times in my day, and the scone recipe really reminded me of making a sweet biscuit. I love making biscuits, by the way. Just thought I would throw that out there. So I just followed the recipe. Once I had the dough all come together, I kneaded it. Look how beautiful this dough looks. If it is a little sticky, of course, just add a little bit more flour on top and on the bottom. You really don't want these to be super sticky. And then I just created a little circular shape out of this and cut 8 scones. I'm sorry, I'm boasting, but I'm definitely giving myself a pat on the back right now for how gorgeous these look pre-bake, especially for someone who I do consider myself to be a novice baker. I do love baking, however, I didn't start baking more detailed recipes until the pandemic hit. And now I feel like I have been really mastering a lot of these more detailed recipes, and I'm just really proud of myself. So I had to just give myself a little pat on the back because pre-bake, these scones look amazing, and post-bake, they look even better. I am just topping with some icing, and then I'm also drizzling on some pumpkin icing to get that classic signature Starbucks swirl. And that is it for today's video. Guys, look at how beautiful these look. Anywho, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your love and support. It means the absolute world to me. If you guys try out any of these recipes that I have linked in the description, and you guys got any inspiration from today's video, make sure to let me know in the comments below and tag me if you take any videos or photos on Instagram. I would love to see your recreations. I hope that you're having a beautiful start to your fall, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Bye guys.